Okay, so it's Friday night, and you know I need a cocktail. First week back to school for me, and it's been rough. So I was considering just doing some scotch on the rocks, whiskey on the rocks, but instead I'm gonna do a whiskey sour. I've done a version of it before. I did one of my earlier drinks was a New York sour, which was a whiskey sour where you float some red wine on top. This one's gonna be a variation of a whiskey sour with egg in it. So I'm going to start with, I'm actually going to make it in a cordial glass, which is basically a little tiny little glass here. It's a nice fancy little cocktail. So I'm going to need a shaker with ice in it. I'm going to end up shaking this one. And we're going to start with bourbon. I'm using some Evan Williams single barrel. You want to use some good bourbon. So I'm going to do 2 shots of that. All right, and I'm gonna use 1 shot of simple syrup. You gotta have something to balance out all the lemon that I'm getting ready to add. All right, and over here I've got 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. And last but not least, you can barely even see it here, I've got 1 teaspoon of egg white. So I cracked open an egg, scooped out 1 teaspoon. I didn't do it on camera because it's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna put that in. Now the thing with the egg, and there's a couple other drinks you can put egg in that I've heard of, an amaretto sour, which might be a future drink. That's a good one to add egg to as well. But the egg's gonna give it a little more body. It's gonna give it a foamy, frothy top to it or head to it, like you can see on the glass over here. You can't taste egg, and I mean, obviously, I suppose you could get sick from it, so I don't know. I've obviously never gotten sick from it, but I can't promise you won't. So, top off here. And actually, when you add egg to it, sometimes that's called a Boston sour. So I just learned that today. So I'm gonna take my cordial glass. The drink, the first time it was published was in 1870, or the first known published was in 1870 in Wisconsin, actually. So I'm going to strain it into this glass. Hoping to get some of that foam. I might have too much. There's foam in here, so let me dump it all out here. It's got a little bit of a foamy top to it. You don't need anything too crazy. I'm gonna garnish it with a lemon twist. And a bourbon soaked cherry. Probably gonna overflow it a little bit there. And I mean, look how fancy that looks. I mean, it's a little tiny glass here. I mean, it's perfect for a Friday night. Like, I'm just like totally in on this drink. I needed it. And I've got 2 because Gabe will not drink this. So I've got 2 of these to drink tonight. So whiskey sour, hope you try one out. And if you have any drink ideas for me for the future, I'm always open to it. And have a great weekend.